Yeah, welcome to Agri Empower. We are always here to empower you, still on discussion, because we want you to gain all the very relevant information as regard to agriculture. Very essential to ensure that you are equipped as ought to be. Very, very important. So today, we'll be talking about the market analysis. Market analysis of tomatoes. So the first things we'll talk about is the fresh market. The fresh market. So when we're talking about the market analysis, you are talking about the dynamics involved in your tomatoes getting to the consumers and what are the other necessary ensuring requirement that you may need. So let's talk. The first one is fresh market. So and under it we'll talk about the local and the regional opportunities. So let's look at it critically. What is it that, as a tomato producer or agripreneur, what are your consideration of turning this from that level into cash? So the fresh market is the most common route for we farmers in Nigeria. So it is characterized by high volume and immediate cash returns. You sell those you have just produced and you gain something in form of cash in return. And in the local, in Nigeria here, is the My 12 effect. Lagos urban market, like the My 12 in Lagos and Akwata in Enugu. These both act as a national hubs. So most farmers sell to aggregators, that is middlemen, who transport the produce in bulk, most essentially from the north to the south, and that's why you see it often much more available. You can as well consider local sales on neighborhood retail, that is selling directly to local market women, that is the mama, or small grocery store. This offer higher margins than selling to wholesalers, but require more time and logistics. Why? You have to get the customers around your vicinities. And at their demand, you will also often will have to take it down to their where they are needed. So this is one of the characteristic challenge you may face, but it is as well another openings in which you can sell your thing locally. Then the next one is regional export. Regional export. This one, you consider the opportunity that exists to supply a neighboring landlocked country like Niger or Chad, even Republic of Benin, if you are closer. So during their dry seasons, though this require more complex logistic in the sense that though we have free entry to each country, but other documentation will have to be followed. And so before you can actually move it to the special place. The direct to consumers, you can as well exploit that on this market analysis on the local trend, direct to consumer. So like these days, modern entrepreneurs are using WhatsApp and social media to sell their tomatoes on subscription boxes of fresh tomatoes directly to the household that needed it in the estate, and this enable you to bypass completely the middleman, so you sell directly and make more money because the whole food bloom is sold at point. So that is for the fresh market. Let's look at the processing market industrial opportunity. We have seen the fresh market. See that you can go through My 12 Akwata and neighboring retail and regional export and direct to consumer. But look at it again on that market analysis, which is possible with processing marketing industrial opportunity, because the goods can be added value to, and you can as well make the sales straight to the very essential part of those who may need it. So this is the value addition sector, which is currently expanding with the notch of massive plant like the Dangote tomato processing factory and others in the north. So you just take your goods and then they can get it to be processed. So this is another opening there. Two, tomato paste industry is another on the processing, which is suppliers provide industrial variety, those with high solid content. These are the industrial variety. They don't have much water, to large factory that converted them into concentrate. This replaces imported Chinese paste, very essential, that people can, you as an entrepreneur in tomato can look at that. Then the other aspect that you can look at again is the sauces and ketchup. So this is a growing niche for SME. Many local brands are now producing ready to eat Nigeria stew base. So, and they can do bottle pepper sauces and government ketchup. So this is another openings on the processing. So you can get that very well. Then we can as well on the processing. Also another where the market can as well be analyzed is the hydration stroke drying. And this one has a low cost entry point. So use on drying or you use solar dryer to create tomatoes flakes or powder, and can extend the shelf life from 1 week to even 1 year. So, and this allow you for sales during scarcity. So use this means to preserve it and keep it for you to actually sell it again and again. So it's servable for a longer period. Then the next is institutional supply. Institutional supply, this is a state where you bag, or that is bagging them and packaging all the sliced and pureed tomatoes for hotels, for restaurants and caterers, which I call horeca. So who value hygiene and convenience over open market haggles. So this is one level. Then as well, let's look at the third aspect of the market analysis, which is very essential, that many who are into this tomato business never take note of critically, is seasonal price trend. Seasonal price trend, the secret to profitability. The seasonal price trend, the secret to profitability. In Nigeria, the price of a basket of tomato can fluctuate by over 500% within a single year. So if you don't understand the seasonal price trend, is one of the an error you'll be making as an entrepreneur. So, and this changes because of certain things. One, the glut, and this glut can take place within January to March. So this is the peak harvest from the north, where most time they bring it from the north. So market are flooded and price can crash. Example, a basket may drop from 30,000 or per basket to 10,000. So in this case, if a farmer will make a profit, it will come from the high volume, as many you can sell. So this is another seasonal trend which can affect. Then secondly, on the seasonal trend, the lean period that starts from May to July. In this case, prices will skyrocket because rain make open field farming difficult, because is why it characterized with disease spread faster. So those operating under open field, not green field, green farming, they will have challenge due to disease attack on their produce. So this is where greenhouse farmers and those with irrigation make the most profit at that point of time. Now, and that is a trend. So if you know that trend of the rainy season, So you can actually use the greenhouse to do your farming or irrigation purpose especially. Then have a protective farming approach. Then the next trade, seasonal trade, is the festive spike, specified spike. Why? Prices almost always at peak during this Christmas time, during Easter time, and a Sallah time. So this aim of those festive period are also very necessary for you to plan and ensure that your tomatoes is at that point for available for their use. So smart farmer time their planting so that their fruiting stage hit 2 weeks before the celebration. So this is one of the things. Then the thing that also causes seasonal trade, which I will quickly talk about, is the Tuta spike. Tuta spike. What does that mean? It means occasional pest outbreak like the tomato Ebola. This can wipe out supply, causing prices to hit record higher. For example, in 2024, a basket of tomatoes was sold at 150,000 per basket. So that is because at that period there was an Ebola outbreak, tomato Ebola, which really wiped away most farmers their produce. And so those who were able to make available, I have to say, because the demand is higher than the supply. Now we have seen the market analysis in these three dimensions. So let's quickly look at the fourth dimension of the risk beginners ignore, the silent profit killer. I call it the silent profit killer because they ignore those risks. So let's look at it. Many new farmers focus only on how to grow and forget how to manage. Very key. How to grow is good, but how to manage is effective because the what you have grown must be maintained to reach the consumers, and so that they can actually be on the good post. So let's look at one of the key points that many of the beginners forget to take cognizance of is post-harvest loss. Without cold storage or plastic crate, up to 50% of your crop can rot in the traditional basket during transport. This is money literally rotting away. So if you use the traditional basket, it have effect on the outcome, and which you must ensure to use the plastic crate. And if you do not put them under cold storage, the tomatoes may die due to the heat on transportation. They are living things, so they breed too faster when they are exposed to heat, and they die, and then they get rotty, and then you can't sell it. So over most time 50% of it is lost on this area. So you must have to watch out and curb it quickly and ensure you have an alternative means of ensuring that this is mitigated. Number two, what you need to watch out is pest blindness. So what does that mean? Most often beginner tomato farmer often wait until they see a kind of damage before they start to spray. By the time Tuta absoluta or bacterial weight is visible for you to see, they have done too much damage, and then you may not able to recover. So I would say prevention over cure is more vital and is ensuring. So number 3 point, what people normally also overlook is the fire brigade. Fire brigade marketing. Fire brigade marketing is a poor way of selling, which is not the best because it's very dicey. So waiting until the tomatoes are red to look for a buyer is a waste, is a kind of a error. So as soon you planted, you know tomatoes take 3.5 months or to 4 months maximally. So you must secure your market before you transplant your first seedling. So in the course of transplanting, you would have secured your market, who may and where all these things would have been congruently be taken care of. So before you move on. Next thing that people also forget to take note seriously is poor record keeping. Poor record keeping. You see, if you don't uh, uh, track the cost of every sachet of fertilizer you use in the cost, and even the liter of fuel for pumping water, or you won't know if you actually made a profit or just in a way handling a lot of money. So I will close this point by saying, in our country Nigeria, a farmer who knows the market but is an average grower will make more money than a master grower who doesn't understand the market. So this is the fact of it all. And I will uh, begin to tell you the market, the, the tomatoes Canada market, which is start tomatoes nursery off-season target from March 15 to March 28 to this year. Then transplanting seed to feed or greenhouse by April 15. Then intensive pest watch out and market outreach May 20 to May 26. Then high value harvest period premium price June 15 to 24. So I will dwell on this more in the next episode of teaching. But meanwhile, if this actually helped you, subscribe and be one of the subscribers to receive more. And secondly, share. And then we also offer consultancy service, training, and for those who we want to know. So you can reach out to us. We have this program in the 4 levels. So this is foundation, and we also will give you intermediate and advanced level, and then the specialized level. So we have just finished this with on the cohort, and so we want you to note and have it in your circuit for you to work with and understand the dynamism. So I will see you again. This is brought to you by Agri Empower, where we are, and we'll give you all the feedback you can get all through all our descriptive mode, and then you can call us for engagement. Thank you, and to see you for the next episode, where I will discuss critically another of this part of tomatoes.